Jerky.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon Jerky.
Righteous Felon Jerky, the official jerky of Belly Up Sports and the Belly Up Media Network. Go to righteousfelon.com and get the best in craft jerky in the land. Use promo code BELLYUP at righteousfelon.com and save yourself 15% on the best jerky in the land. I love myself some jerky. I just snack on it all day long, eat it forever. But as you guys said, listen to the show, and people who know me more personally know I was down in, or out and down, I guess, down island in Victoria, BC, doing the Little League Canadian Championships with the winner, which was Little Mountain Little League out of Vancouver, advancing to Williamsport in the Little League World Series. That gets going next week. The team from Little Mountain, I think they fly out tomorrow to Williamsport and get all their stuff and things. And it was up. All in all, it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life in the sports world, which I've been involved in off and on for my 51 years of living, from playing Little League baseball to playing junior hockey, and then the podcast world and umpiring throughout everywhere. But this past week, it showcased everything that's right in the world of amateur sports and minor sports. It was such a great, almost an uplifting experience. That we're not doomed, and there are some good people in the world, and there are some parents who aren't absolutely crazy, and maybe because it's the age of the kids and everything else, but it was there wasn't any negatives that came out of this week. There was rarely a crossword about a call or parents trying to find their kid a scholarship at the age of 12, which is impossible. And there wasn't any of that stuff. There wasn't any back and forth bickering between coaches or managers or players or fans or parents or tournament organizers. It was just a very positive, uplifting experience, and you saw that there was some hope for humanity out there in Victoria. I was fortunate enough to get to second base on the championship game. My evaluations went really well. I'm not going to tote what they're all went on there, but my evaluations went well. And I got recommendation to go to a Little League World Series in the next 3 years. We'll see how it rolls through with the Little League International and things. But I might be a Canadian representative at the Little League World Series the next couple of years, which is pretty much a lifelong dream of mine. It was a great experience all in all. I had a fun time. Like, it was just such a fun time, and got down to the grassroots of baseball. You remember why you get involved in it, and remember the good times when you were a kid, and before all the crap starts to happen when you get a little bit older, thinking about maybe moving on or getting to different parts of your baseball or hockey career. Just remember, you're just a kid playing, and that was the most important part of the week. They were just a bunch of kids playing baseball, and parents were watching their kids do it. And I think that one of the things that parents were really, because 12 years old is kind of the age where you have to make a decision, which is too bad, what sport you might go and play, whether you're going to be a two-sport athlete, which isn't a thing anymore, which is sad. But then you got a lot of kids might have been playing baseball for the last time, because like a lot of kids in Canada, they play hockey and then they leave baseball behind, or a lot of kids leave hockey behind, they play baseball. But you see a lot of kids that they might have been playing baseball for the last time this weekend or this past 10 days when I was out there in Victoria, and you got to see a lot of parents kind of taking a step back and taking it all in and realizing that little Billy and little Bobby might have been playing for the last time, or that they were pursuing something that was going to be great, and getting a chance to go to Williamsport. And every little leaguer's dream is to go there. And there was a time on, I can't remember what night of the week it was, Tuesday or Wednesday, that all the days kind of meshed together. Was out there, and for the different things going on with the Bulls too, it's been kind of a hectic 2 to 3 weeks. But there was a team from Ontario. They got knocked out of the tournament. They were coming into the hotel, and their parents were cheering them on and everything else. The kids were crying, and they were pretty dejected about what was going on. But about half an hour later, I looked out my hotel room window, and the kids were playing wiffle ball out front on the grassy area out front of the hotel, and just kind of put it in perspective. Like, yeah, they're upset, but you know what? Life goes on. It's just sports, and they're out there having a good time and playing wiffle ball and just doing the game that they love and playing it just for fun, even though their hopes and dreams were at a young age. Their young age hopes and dreams were crashed just a few minutes earlier, and to go, you know what? It doesn't really matter. We're out here having fun, and that's the most important thing. And the kids were having fun, and the parents, the coach were having fun, and they're out there for all the right reasons. And it was really a great experience to be a part of out there in Victoria. And during that championship game, you can kind of see the host Leyritz team. They just didn't have it. They kind of ran out of gas, and they all the luck that they had, because everything seemed to go right for them all week long. It was 1-run games, and they had an error here and error there by the opposing team always worked in their favor. And then it kind of just you kind of see it happening early on in that game on Thursday afternoon out there in Victoria. And the championship team from Little Mountain, they've been to the World Series a couple of times in the recent past, and but different kids. Obviously, kids get a little bit older, but it was really fun to watch these kids. And in the 6th-inning game, that's all it is in Little League baseball. But I was umpiring second base, and I had to go out to center field to make a call. And the kid who caught the ball, he was you could tell he was for those watching on YouTube, they were those listening on the podcast side of things. Actually, you can see my face. The kid was very stoic almost in his catch and very business-like that he did. Yeah, I did it, but I mentioned the little fella, and they're all just so small, 11, 12 years old. I mentioned the little guy, said, "Hey man, you can smile now. You're probably going to Williamsport." And this big grin came across his face, and then they realized that I think they kind of knew at that moment. But then the next out was a strikeout to end the game, and the gloves are in the air, and the celebration was happening, and it was really uplifting to see that everything was right with sports, and the reason why we all love sports, and the reason why you get involved in it at whatever, and the volunteers, and why you're around it, and the things that you remember about that. And there was some great plays throughout the week. And I know it's just Little League baseball, but they're big leaguers. For that 10 days, they were big leaguers. There was 2,000 people, probably that last game in Victoria there, and the place was packed. And there were 7 rows deep in the outfield, and all around there was, like I said, 2,000 people. And before the game got going, I'm usually pretty cool as a cucumber, I guess. But I got to say, before I went on the field there, I had butterflies. Like, holy cow, this kind of a big deal for these kids. Like, I've umpired in front of bigger crowds in my career, but this one was pretty surreal to be out there in front of 2,000 people. And these kids, they meant it, and it was their World Series, and it was their day to shine. And when they won, there was elation everywhere, and it was so fun to be a part of. And then it was just such a positive experience, and everybody was having a good time. And they're out there for all the right reasons. And even the team that lost, Leyritz, the home team, the parents were, they were a little dejected, a little upset, and the kids were obviously upset. But I had to get back to my sister's place afterwards. But you could bet that a few hours later, the kids are out there having a good time playing wiffle ball, or it might be, or they're putting their ball gloves away and getting their hot equipment ready, and probably having a good time, or playing video games, whatever it might be. And they'll remember that for a long time. And I bet the parents, after they sat back and decompressed a little bit, they go, you know what, that was pretty awesome. It was pretty great to be a part of it, and to watch my kid play, or my nephew, or my neighbor, or whatever it was, because there was a lot of people there that they wanted the root for the home team, but only one team can win. But you realize you watch it, and you're there for the right reasons. And a lot of conversation you have with people, how great it was. And it was fun to talk to some of the older people that came back to Leyritz Little League that played there in like 1980, and some guys in the 70s, and just got guys my age that were coming back to watch it all and go for full circle. Remember when. And then for the team that won, that's something they can hold on to forever. I mean, they're going to go to Williamsport, and the Canadian teams haven't fared so well really ever in that tournament, but they're going to go down there and probably the same fate. But 20, 30 years from now, those same kids, when they're 30 and when they're 40, 50 years old, sitting around the local bar room having a beer or a pint, or a scotch on the rocks, whatever it might be, or sitting around, they'll remember that moment forever. And it was it's something they can hold on to, and they can say they were Canadian champions once in their life, or maybe twice in their life, but at that moment, they were the best team on the planet in their eyes, and no one could ever take that away. And it was such a fun thing to be a part of, and it was everything. Like I said, it was everything that was right with that's supposed to be right with minor sports. And anybody who gets a chance to go to something like that, go and take a gander and watch it, because it was great. And parents who lose sight of what it's supposed to be about, they should go and revisit those times and what it's supposed to be about. It's not about your kid, and it's not about you. It's about the greater good of the game, and it's about your kid and your kid having fun, because you know what, they're not going to be big leaguers. One, maybe two might get a scholarship out of that, right? So enjoy it while you can, because like I said before, you run out of games, and before you know it, you run out of games, and that's it, and you never get to play again, and that sucks. And but these kids got to play a game that they love that day, and it was an awesome thing to be a part of. Anyways, there's my little talk about the Little League World Series, or the Canadian World Series, and hopefully I get a chance to go to the Little League World Series in the next couple of years, because it's been a dream of mine for a long time, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of. But remember, parents, don't let your kid run out of games. Be a kid at heart forever, and enjoy the moments you have, because you never know when you don't get another one. And it was on full display in Victoria over the week. Here, just one more little commercial here, or we'll just do final thoughts, and we'll send everybody on their merry way. So now with the Lethbridge Bowl season being done, like I said, went out with a bit of a whimper last night, and they're all done for another year. And then my umpiring's done for the year, so I got nothing but some spare time on my hands, which is good. I got the podcast bug back up and going. It's good to get on here and talk about sports and talk about the things I love and what I don't love and everything. But it's so good to rant. Got some guests lined up for this week. So what I'm going to try to do is Mondays and Fridays I'm going to do a morning show, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to do the nightly show. But the Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to be getting guests on. That's kind of the plan. But the morning show is going to make its triumphant return starting Monday, recap the weekend, and Friday I think to look ahead for the weekend. So that's the plan with the 14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes 20 seconds to get you started on your daily commute. So that's coming back, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays a night show, and then maybe we might do one on Saturday mornings as well, kind of a different kind of a show and different kinds of thoughts and ideas I have. So the 1420 podcast can be back full bore moving forward here. Looking forward to it. I got some different ideas. 5 years is coming up in 11 days. So, and then Deanne, my wife, she's going to Greece with her mother, so for 3 weeks. So I got nothing but time in my hands for those 3 weeks where I can get hunker down here in the Yankee Tavern North and put out some content and get the numbers up. Make sure you guys. So thank you very much to who listen. Keep us going for 5 years. We'll do a 5-year anniversary show coming up to get some guys on from the past. But we got some things lined up for the show the next coming week. But that's the plan. Mondays and Fridays a morning show, and then Tuesdays and Thursday night show, and then a Saturday morning show. So we'll be at you 5 days a week here at the Yankee Tavern North and the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to get that up and rolling a lot more, plus the Belly Up YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like that, hit the notification button, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, and tell your friends, tell everybody that, because that's the best way to get this thing moving forward is word of mouth, and to tell people that you like the show, don't like the show, you're indifferent, don't say you're indifferent, because a little controversy never hurt either. But make sure you guys subscribe, share, talk about the show. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with other people. Social media, Twitter, we're on _1420, and then the Facebook account 1420 Sports Bar, and then the Instagram account as well, where we're putting show clips up there on a daily basis. So make sure you have a great weekend. It's been a haul, but we made it through it, and it's that time of year. I got college football starting to roll right away. NFL, I don't care. And then baseball's at full bore, and NHL training camps get going. Make sure you check out No Credentials Required to the show I was on today, or check out all their great shows. Ryan and Dustin do a great show, and they're working really hard to move forward. So let's enjoy this crazy time together. Remember, everybody, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with. Have yourself a Saturday, or whatever day you're listening or watching this, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning into the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. For beer and sports talk and a whole lot more, brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.